So Joe Rogan said that giving in to the woke mob will result in straight white men not being allowed to talk, leaving a lot of us to pose the obvious question, and Joseph, fearful of a mob armed to the teeth with facts and accountability, no one wanting to talk to you isn't the same as no one allowing you to talk. Folks are just exhausted with your tired attempts to play the devil's advocate, knowing that the devil doesn't need your feeble-minded help and that you are simply communicating your own limited understanding and your comfort in the face of racism and oppression. Straight white men not being allowed to talk, he said. They say that equality feels like oppression to those that have been chugging privilege like a frat boy doing a keg stand. Joe, your hot takes aren't hot. They are cold generalizations passed down generation to generation. Yo, we've been heard you. Straight white men been talking. Didn't you speak Jim Crow into existence? I heard you call me a faggot, telling me to go back to where I came from, saying that we should agree to disagree. Or some shit about how everyone's entitled to their own opinion. So you can reduce my identity and respect into something that's negotiable. We don't negotiate with terrorists. We heard you a lot. And every law sponsored by the GOP, on the radio, on the TV, at the bar, drunk, asking who we're gonna call when we defund the police, y'all on every channel talking. Condescending your anecdotal experiences like they're biblical or fact. In fact, your voice sounds like a legally obtained AR-15. Your shouts, the clanking of the shells as they hit the floor, your laugh, a dehumanizing tone you have used to silence every non-straight white, using triggered as an insult, but be the first to pull the trigger when insulted. Joe, your confession is an effortless validation that straight white men are less likely or in some cases incompatible with wokeness. You stay asleep. Your snore is an irritating white noise you have used to stifle every non-straight white. Men like Joe Rogan, y'all, have been narrating our nightmares since the colonizers got here. Fitting, albeit ironic, that being woke would silence you. Yeah! Oh my God, yo. Yes. One of my close friends. So like real quick, big ups to the Barbed Wire Open Mic Series, you guys. I started at the Barbed Wire Open Mic Series, y'all. I started here way back in the day. Shit, and this lady right here, she snuck in without me trying to get her attention. I was trying to introduce you. That's my girl, y'all. This is Celia. She's a dope-ass MC. Everybody welcome her. This is my homie, Rich. He's amazing. He made all this possible. Big shout out, big love to my family over there in the back. My mom, my fiance, our friend JW, Mr. Acosta. Yo, thank y'all so much. And my Makona brothers. I have fraternity brothers that are here, y'all. It's amazing. Thank you so much. So much love to everybody. Much love to everybody. I'm about to read you some more poetry. This one, so in case you didn't know, I am gay. Mom, I'm so sorry I haven't told you this yet. Okay, cool. Yeah, my mom had no idea, by the way. I should have gotten an Academy Award, like, for real. I legit fooled her ass. So, this is a testament, and this is kind of about that. I'm sorry. Yeah, this poem's about that. So, this one's called My Queer Mother. And this one, it's not actually about you, Mom. I'm sorry. But it's about the lack of religious iconography for queer people. And this is kind of what inspired that. You know, you'll hear about it. I'm gonna stop talking about it. You'll hear about it. My appearance, it speaks a language all its own. A dialect that's familiar yet foreign. There really isn't a proper translation. I am a being rooted in the context in which you are witnessing me. I put myself together. 3 parts individuality, 1 part survival instinct. And in high school, that meant I wore heterosexuality like a straitjacket, contorting my appearance into something a little easier for others to digest. I would change my crushes' names to girls, recite recycle fantasies at sleepovers, add some more bass to my voice. My straitjacket, same size as my Letterman. Now in Catholic school, they teach you about every single saint. You learn about patron saint of animals, patron saint of lost things, patron saint of drunks, but no patron saint for fags. So in that absence, I decided to create a saint all my own. Celestial, diva, divine. A fag dressed in drag with a walk that stomps out the devil. He, she, they. Bless you with pronouns that transcend the binary shackles placed on us by the same minds that gave us race and gender, oppressors. She would speak with a quick wit, slaying all my inner demons to filth, snatched for the gods, death dropping on homophobic false prophets trying to pray away my gay, turn my closet into kindling, and my straitjacket into something I dust with. Hail, queer mother, turn our tears into diamonds. Show the world that we are harder than any stone wall, for our freedoms are the products of bricks and barbed wire fences. Rest in power, Gabriel Fernandez. Rest in power, Alexa Negaron. Rest in power, every other queer soul whose names were forgotten or ignored, whose melanin made living in their truth that much harder. Blessed are those whose houses were built on machismo, whose fathers fought so hard to fit you in boxes made for boys and girls you hid in coffins rather than closets. Blessed are those whose bodies don't match their soul, who must wage war against Christians that can wrap their minds around transubstantiation, but not what it means to be transgendered, ashes to ashes and glitter to dust. In her, I pray, slay, and trust. Hail, queer mother, full of style and grace. I pay for fashion and taste, but most of all, for you to keep us safe from all the trials and tribulations that we must face as a result of being one of your queer children. Thank you all so much. Couldn't find my book. So real quick, before I forget, because I always forget this shit, I am trying to establish myself on social media artistically, all right? So if you could whip out your phones, okay? This is the only time I'm gonna accept that. Whip out your phones and go ahead and find me on TikTok. If you have a TikTok, I know y'all got TikTok, don't play games. I've seen you on there. I've seen you especially, yeah. TikTok, it's at Space_Dragn, but there's no O. So D-R-A-G-N. The regular dragon was taken, okay? I don't know what to tell you, okay? So it's Space_Dragn on TikTok. That's also for Instagram. But TikTok is primarily where I'm sharing a lot of my work. And if you guys would follow me on there, like some poetry, it would mean so much to me. Also, I have a couple of my chapbooks available. This one's called Poems from Space. Clever, I know. But I have a couple of these. I also have some prints, some artwork that I'm selling. So if you guys feel so inclined, we'll be right over here in this area. Raise your hand, Mom. In that area right there, if you guys want to purchase some, I'd really appreciate it. But let me get right back into this poetry. Thank y'all for that commercial break. I really appreciate it. So, I know which one I'm going to read. I'm going to take a break from the political stuff, and I'm going to give you a nice poem about my mom. How about that? You want to hear some mom poetry? Can I get a round of applause for some moms? Some moms. Go, give it up for some moms. I know you like moms. Y'all got moms. Y'all got some moms out there? All right. People tell me I have her eyes. But she taught me how to speak with them, to spit a sermon with a glance or put a lover in a trance. You see, their colors change in the light, they mesmerize. I know I have my mama's eyes. Some say I have her temper too. You see, our blood is really fire. You see, my grandfather, he was half angel and half demon, and that's just genetics. Our thoughts are phonetic. It's easy to speak our mind. I get this soapbox from my mama's side. It's probably where I get my pride too. These notions I've come to realize that I have inherited a lot, along with my mother's eyes. We have similar hearts, comprised of meteorites, celestial bodies that can withstand the sun in a fight. They beat strong and burn bright. Am I a mama's boy? You damn right. You see, addictions are also hereditary, which will explain the craters in our hearts, crafted from the inexplicable art we like to call relationships. And like most historic ships, my mother's would crash and burn. You'd think I would have learned. And with her warning, nonetheless, I'd fall victim to my genetics like the rest. Looking for love like it's a fix. How do you fix this? Always aiming for love, but somehow miss. A notch in the belt, a piece of my heart. My love is kind, it's just the kind that breaks apart. It seemed that I'd be doomed from the very start. With severed ties and lovers' lies, the one thing I hated to see were tears in my mother's eyes. But that wasn't a frequent sight, for she kept her tears locked up tight. She taught me to see past the rain and never stop the fight. How to light a candle in the dead of night. My mom, she could find happiness in a hurricane. For these good looks, I got my mama to blame. It's your roots that keep you standing in the storm. These are the lessons my mother gave. My father says that I'm just like my mother. I guess it's true. I'm just like my mother, through and through. Thank you so much, Mom. Yeah. I gotta give it up to my mom.